now you're at the center of the magma tanker, and the objective is to blow it into oblivion. Now this place is... Whoa, what the hell? Who designed this place? What is all this shit? Well, it doesn't matter. You gotta get through it. Use Bucky's mega jump to get over to the top platform, then use Deadeye's wall crawl to get a jump over here right as it moves out. Several of these first few acts involve you using Bucky and Deadeye to get past this mess. These arrows here on the wall will give you a boost in the direction they're pointing, so when all these spikes show up, you have to glide yourself across accordingly. Like right here, you don't want to jump too high or you'll end up right into the ceiling, so aim low. Here these green robots will break out of their casings. They're slow, but they do a lot of damage if you hit them, and they won't die from any weapon you have. So you really just have to know when they're coming and jump over them. Now, this part is tough to walk you through. You'll go through a series of these rotating wheels with toads inside. First, kill them all from a distance, with Deadeye preferably, and then watch how the wheel rotates. There are arrows indicating the direction the wheel is turning. The boss is fucking insane. So much shit on the screen at once coming from all directions, it can drive you nuts. First take Willy and blast the top and bottom guns. They'll stop firing laser beams at you, so watch out for them. Blast out the same two guns you just took out using Jenny this time. Then use Willy to blast through the glass in the middle. Now, the eye thing will fire out this glob of electricity that splits into 6 directions. I think the best place to stand is on the back edge of this platform. You can avoid every combination of its attack while getting back into position to take it out. Now the whole damn place is gonna blow up, so you gotta get the hell out. You'll be auto-scrolled during this escape at a fast pace, so be ready to do a lot of reacting. These green douchebags will pull major suicide missions by trying to cling onto your ship and drag you down, but you can let them hit the spikes and fly back up to safety. When you get to this area here with the glass walls, select Willy and blast the glass out of the way. Use Bucky for most of the escape, as his ship will shoot forwards and backwards, so you can take out some of the surprise enemies from behind as well. This first sub-boss is pretty easy for the most part. Just take out the top and bottom targets while avoiding the slow, predictable attack. Once both targets are destroyed, the head will go flying and spinning and shooting out of control. Fire with Bucky facing either side of it, but try to keep your distance to avoid the bullets in the head itself. Then you'll be greeted by this huge-ass ship, which makes for a pretty badass boss battle. It starts with these green goofballs leaping out of the ship. Just stay to the right and kill off some of them for fun if you want. Then the ship will raise up a little and attack. Use Bucky to fire back at the guns. Now even if you don't take out all of them, after a certain amount of time you'll be sent around to another portion of the ship, but as it's traveling, use Deadeye to get some of the shots in. Stay to the far right to avoid the tail of the ship, and try to slide down between the laser shots and use Jenny or Willy to attack the ass end. Then use Deadeye to attack some of these same guns as before, but in this area they make it even harder by trying to squash you. So get just underneath this little hook to give yourself enough space to survive. You'll probably take a few shots here. Now, as soon as you see the front end of the ship, get your ass up there, because these laser shots are rapid as hell and you don't want to get caught in front of it. Then you'll start the cycle all over again until you take out all the main parts of the ship. Even after taking out the ship, don't touch it assuming that it's background, or you will die. You thought that was the final boss? Well, not yet. Select Bucky, grab all the power-ups you see, and get ready to do battle with the Toad Air Marshal. His attacks are simple but effective. He'll throw a grenade or some type of explosive that splits into 7 pieces that go in different directions. Then he changes positions and chucks the grenade somewhere else. Not to mention that you can't touch him or the backdraft that's catching up to you, causing the fighting area to become very small. I say concentrate more on dodging the explosions than on whether or not your attacks are hitting the Air Marshal. All the patterns that the explosions take are relatively easy to figure out once you get used to the battle. The tougher part is seeing where he goes and getting yourself into position at the same time. It's not amazingly challenging, but this attack right here when he's about in the middle and throws to the left, I always had a hard time dodging that one, but it's really not that hard, you just slip right underneath. You do have to get used to this battle though, it's not as easy as I might be making it sound. You can even die after killing him if his explosions hit you. Hell, the first time I ever killed him, I ended up dying from his final blow before croaking himself, no pun intended, and that shit pissed me off. But it was still pretty cool. So you've destroyed the mothership, saved the universe, and live on to fight another day as the ending reveals that the Toads weren't defeated completely. How much more could you have possibly done to them? It does leave the door open for a sequel, although none were made, much like how there was no second season to the cartoon series. It's kind of a shame because this was a solid game and could have had a pretty cool follow-up, but this one stands out on its own just fine. It isn't flawless, but it's loaded with a brilliant blend of action and strategy. If you want a strenuously paced challenge that isn't overly impossible to beat, then I highly recommend Bucky O Hare. Doesn't fuck around. So, that wraps up this edition of Aqualung's Game Reviews. See you next time.